The Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressive Congress in Kogi State says it's working assiduously to sustain its dominance of the political landscape in the forthcoming February and March general elections across the length and breadth of the state. The spokesman of the APC Campaign Council, Kingsley Fanwo, described the crowds at the stadium as crowd brought in to justify the dollars collected by the Kogi PDP from the PDP presidential flag bearer. Commended the PDP for being smart enough to hire a crowd for the rally. Our reporter has more.
The Director of Media and Publicity, Kogi State APC Campaign Council, Kingsley Fanwo, said what PDP declared would be an overflow rally that would bring Kogi City to a standstill for the day barely registered on the radar of hardworking Kogites. He said those who came out with the hope to hear anything which might persuade them to re-evaluate their poor opinion of the PDP were left reinforced in their disdain for people whose stints in government brought their state, nay, country to their knees. When their die-hard members who came in with expectations of the usual largesse associated with the party in her heyday became dispirited when the lies started. The rest of the people went about their normal businesses, utterly disinterested in the hollow antics of a party that once wasted 13 precious years for them.
The umbrella circles did not need anyone to tell them that Kogi people have rejected them, just like they were rejected in 2015 and 2019. Even though they burst in supporters from outside the state to beef up appearances, the modest crowd was eloquent enough. Crafty camera angles could not hide yawning gaps in the stands, and it was painfully obvious that the former ruling party had been fittingly reduced to a shadow of itself in Kogi State over the last 7 years. Dismayed by the poor turnout, the PDP resorted to theatrics. It rolled out expired individuals who had been expunged from the ranks of the APC for their unsavory deeds and characters, and proceeded to canonize them. The rally turned into a farce when people like the former deputy governor of the state, Elder Simon Achuba, and the former speaker of the state assembly, Right Honorable Alpha Imam, were repackaged for Atiku as Kogi APC stalwarts, who were decamping to the PDP at the rally. What Atiku and his entourage might not have known is that this is the same Achuba who was unceremoniously impeached from office with ignominy by the State Assembly for gross misconduct during the first term of the administration. He rejoined his former bedmates in the PDP ahead of the 2019 general elections and failed to deliver even his own word in that year's presidential, legislative, and governorship elections. Right Honorable Alpha Imam is another has-been whose poor leadership pitched him in a running battle with his colleagues when he was Speaker of the State House of Assembly. At the cusp of being impeached, he pleaded to be allowed to resign. He was obliged, and he too left office in our party in 2019. Shortly, he decamped to the SDP, another rickety platform in Kogi State, where his presence was as ineffectual as his departure was unfelt in the APC. We won the 2019 landslide without them. Since then, the two men have failed in their political self-delusions and have continued to fail.
Fanwo said it soon became clear that the political jesters in Kogi PDP had deliberately lied to their Dubai-based presidential candidate and his hangers-on that all projects in Kogi State were done by them.
So the poor man spent his time on the podium attributing the massive projects constructed by Yahaya Bello either to a man who left office over 1 decade before construction started on them, or to the PDP administration in which he used to be number 2. Even the pitiable sight of the immediate past PDP governor of Kogi State, craving for some level of attention, did not dissuade the PDP from treating his tenure as if it never happened.
Fanwo said why they proclaimed that Ibrahim Idris built everything that looks like modern infrastructure in Kogi was just their imagination.
If we were to judge dispassionately, his tenure, like the one before it, cannot boast of any visible contribution to the well-being of the people, so it might as well never have happened. Why the lies that Alhaji Ibrahim Idris built everything that looks like modern infrastructure in Kogi, as insinuated at the rally, is, of course, a figment of the speaker's fevered imaginations. It is a national embarrassment to the PDP that they failed Kogi people so woefully, despite having so long to make a difference. It is on record that Alhaji Ibrahim Idris left his own Abejikolo community in darkness in his 9 years in office. It took the present administration to restore power to his benighted community. He also left Abejikolo roads in pitiable states. Today, the APC, through this administration and the likes of Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Halims of the APC, is bringing respite. What is not in doubt is that the Yahaya Bello-led APC administration has changed the face of Kogi State. The legacy projects executed, some of which were recently commissioned by Mr. President, are too numerous to mention here. The Research and Strategy Directorate of the PDP presidential candidate should have interacted with civil servants in Kogi State to find out how the state government is not owing a single month's salary. Even the months owed by WADA and bequeathed to Yahaya Bello in 2016 have been cleared.
On the promise made by the PDP presidential candidate Abubakar Atiku to revive Ajakuta, Fanwo has this to say.
They also did not remind Atiku Abubakar how the federal government in which he served as vice president failed to deliver any single infrastructure in 8 years, including the Abuja-Lokoja road. Under the APC, on the other hand, work has progressed significantly on different stretches of the highway from Abuja to Okene, Obajano Junction to Kaba. Concrete road was completed under the APC Tax for Credit Scheme, Executive Order 7. The pledge of Atiku to revive the Ajaokuta Steel Company can only be classified as a morbid joke, which he must have made to insult the sensibilities of Kogi State and her people. We are familiar with how the Privatization Council, under his supervision, sold national assets to his friends and cronies. Some of the scandals around such are still in courts around the world till date. President Muhammadu Buhari has taken a bold step on the gigantic project, and we trust the president in waiting, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to see the process through.
The Director of Media and Publicity, Kogi State APC, told journalists that the PDP cannot win an election in the state, even with the hired crowd.
The PDP flag bearer also assured the lecture theater crowd, queued from him from 7 states, that he will win the 2023 presidential polls. This is the illusion of the decade already, as he will be resoundingly defeated by the presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress. It is even looking as if his boy, who admitted publicly that Atiku was his master, who trained and settled him, might take more voter share than him in this race.
Fanwo announced that APC is on course to deliver Kogi State massively for the All Progressives Congress and maintain the legacy of the party in the state under the leadership of Governor Yahaya Bello again.
So I will assure you that the governor is totally committed to the campaign, and he will ensure that Kogi State is delivered to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is the leader of the party here, and he is the one coordinating millions of youths across the country. So he will ensure that Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes the president.
He urged APC members to remain peaceful and law-abiding, but encouraged them to continue to work hard to ensure that they set a record with their numbers in the February and March polls. Fanwo added that it is the APC that can continue to steer the nation away from the corruption, misrule and insecurity that characterized the reign of PDP in Nigeria. He appreciated Atiku Abubakar for calling on his audience to vote for APC in the presidential election even when he tried to take it back. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.